Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity. I am your host, Renovate. Today, guys, we are playing on the FTOG.net server. We are playing expert mode, so everything's a lot harder than what it normally is. So yeah, guys, this is episode number 19. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. We're going to be doing something kind of cool today. Also, guys, we picked up a new family member. His name is Samsel. Make sure you look down in the description. His link is down there. Make sure you go to his channel and click the like button. And yeah, so if you guys are enjoying the series that I'm recording, make sure you click the like button on mine. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Help me grow my channel. We're doing really good, guys. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed in the past couple months. So let's get started, guys. Episode number 19. All right, guys, let me show you what has changed in the area. I haven't recorded in probably about a week's time. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick recap of what's been going on. I think Link has recorded this, but this is something that has changed. He added Steve's Factory Manager to the Living Wood and the Living Rock, so it automates it, which is pretty cool. And he's got a setup downstairs, which is using TNT for mana. So make sure you go check over his channel and see how he got that set up. I also asked him to do me a favor and set up a rancher when I was out sick. And so basically that's what this is doing. It's mainly picking the sheep. They're picking their wool. So but for whatever reason, it's turned the wrong direction. So we might have to turn that and face it towards the sheep. But it's getting some wool. It's doing a pretty good job. It's run by solar power. But I need that wool because we're going to be making some dense ME cable. And that's all made with wool. Let me show you our laser room, guys. Check this out. I mean, this is insane. Basically, this is close to 5,000 RF per tick usage on making these items. So we were at 1,000 something, and now we're close to 5,000. So this is really cool when you turn it on. It's just the room is just all blue. It's really cool. So yeah, he did that, and we did add some more interflux crystals to our QED. And then over here, guys, this used to be our storage room with all our storage drawers. And so I have completely redone it. And we got rid of Tinkers altogether. So this used to be where the little Tinkers area was. It's gone. We really didn't use Tinkers all that much other than to make gears. But we set it up somewhere else. So if we need to make a gear, we can just go out and make a gear. But yeah, this is going to be basically the automation area for all our ME system. We're going to have the quarry as it comes in. It's going to automate the ores and everything. It's going to be in here. Anything that we need on demand is going to be in this room. And below here, it's all cleared out. So it's just one big hollow space. So we got plenty enough room to run our cables and stuff. Pretty cool setup eventually. This is the ME room that I've created. And I don't think that I showed this off in the last episode. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I couldn't figure out where we wanted to put this, and this seemed to be like a logical location. So this is where we're going to be working in today. This is going to be pretty much where our ME system brains is going to be. So it's all going to be in this room. All the storage drives. These are here temporarily because I needed to get access to them. Over here is going to be all the crafting terminals. And then, or not crafting terminals, but the co-processors. And then if you go up 2 levels, let's see if I can get on the, oh, come on. Oh well, I couldn't get it to work. Let's just do it that way. Okay, there we go. So up here in this room, I wanted this to look, remember those compact, I forget what they're called, compact machines or whatever. That's what I wanted this to look like. So when you come up here, this is where all of the ME interfaces with the molecular assemblers are going to be. There's just going to be a bunch of them in this room. Kind of out of the way. I didn't want to see them, so we put them up here. But it's basically 2 levels up. This is just to run all the cables and everything so you don't see them. So it's connected to the other space that was over there. So over here, this is where I'm going to be working today. And I'm going to explain what's going to be happening. But first, I need to make a couple of things so we can actually make a couple of things in our video. And I had to reset up our little process that we had going on here, where I can make presses. And this is just a kind of a I don't know what you want to call it, a weird way of doing it when you don't have an ME system set up. So let me get this set up real quick, guys. I'm going to turn off the mob grinders downstairs because they're kind of loud. And let me get a couple more processors made, or circuits, I should say, and then we'll get started. Be right back. Okay, guys, so I got most of the stuff that I need. So we're going to get started on this project. And this is probably going to be a short video, hopefully. So what I want to go over today, guys, is on our ME system. Since this is Infinity mode, a lot of the items in Infinity are quite difficult to create. One of those being the ME controller down there. And as you guys saw in a couple episodes ago, actually a few episodes in a row, how long it took to create this, we want to try to maximize the use out of just that one block until we definitely have to make another one. And as you know, on the ME system, the controller allows for 32 channels on each side. Now, one of those sides has got to be power, so you got basically 5 other sides that you can use. And on those sides, you can run different dense cable out. Now, each dense cable provides you with 32 channels. As you can see in the way up at the top, it says 0 of 32 channels. It means that's because nothing's connected to it right now. But if this right here, if this little information pane and that and everything was on there, you would see how many channels that it's actually pulling. So what we want to do is maximize the use of this cable, because this cable is going to provide us with all the channels that's going to interact in this room and in the room above where all the molecular assemblers are. What I don't want to do is use up all the channels for unnecessary reasons. Now, typically what would happen is if I connected one of these ME drives to a cable, this would count as one channel. So this would be 1 channel, 2, 3, and so on. So this would be 6 channels, this would be 12, and this would be 18. So just in these storage drives, I would have wasted nearly half of what that dense cable would have been. Well, we don't want to do that. What we want to do is put all 18 of these channels on one channel. And you're probably thinking, well, how do you do that? If you know ME systems, then you know what this trick is. If you don't know ME systems, this is going to be kind of cool for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you and explain why. So what happens is this dense cable, and I'll show you the recipe to make a dense cable. Oh, I already had it on there. Didn't even notice that. So let's go back to, oops. There we go, applied. So if you look at the dense cable, I used lime because I had some lime dye. I'm not quite sure why, but I had some lime dye and I thought that'd be kind of cool. So if we click on that, to make any of the colored cables, you're going to have to make the normal cables and then put the dye that you want in the middle. So a normal cable would be an ME covered cable with some redstone and some glowstone. That just gives you one, okay? Now suppose you have an ME cable that's got color on it. This is showing you right here what this recipe here is for. You'd probably think, well, why if you just added a bucket would it make it? This actually takes the color off of the cable. So suppose you had a bunch of brown ones and you didn't need them anymore. If you put a water bucket next to it, it'll take the brown off of it and give you back the normal Fluix cable. But up here, the ME covered cable is actually made by taking the ME glass cable and putting some wool with it. So that's why we needed the little sheep farm, so we could get a bunch of wool. To make the glass cable, you just need 2 Fluix crystals and some quartz fiber. Quartz fiber is just another quartz dust or Certus quartz dust and a bunch of glass. So lots of material, but readily available if you've got everything set up. Now the dense cable, like I said, holds 32 channels. A smart cable is just like this, but it only carries 8 channels. So if we go downstairs here, I think I put them all away, so let's jump back up here. I did make some smart cable that had, I don't want it in here, I want it up here, that had lime on it, I thought. Maybe I didn't. Let's do, man, I thought I did. Maybe it's in my bag. Let me check my bag. If we didn't do it, then I apologize. Nope, we didn't do it. So let's go ahead and get some made. So let's go in here and let's type in, let's see here, what do we need to make this lime cable? So here's that lime cable. We need to make a bunch of this cable, which requires a bunch of that cable. So can we go ahead and make that? Let's see, how many can we make? 12? That's perfect. So all we need to do now is throw those back in the system. And let's click on the lime, and let's do that. And there we got our cables. That's all we needed to do. So what we're going to do here, sorry for clearing my throat there. What we're going to do is we're going to hook all these up, and we're only going to use one channel out of here, okay? So how this works, we're going to run a dense cable to here. And then from here, we're going to try to power everything up and through here, and then this is eventually going to go across to the other side of the room and power up all that stuff over there. So what we want to do, and I'll do it the normal way first, and I'll show you why how this usually works if you do it the odd way. So as you can see, every time a machine gets hooked up, you're going to see a glowing line. Okay, so there's one glowing line, two glowing lines, goes into this cable, shows you that 2 are active. There's 2 more, 4 active. And then when it gets down past 4, it ends up changing into a white line. So this is showing right now, you got 2 white lines and 4 bright green lines. That means there's 6 channels going into this. And so you only have 2 more channels that this cable could use. But we don't want to keep doing that, because if I do all of these, that's 18 channels, like I said. We want to only use 1. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to unhook all these like that. And then we're going to, actually I needed to keep that. Let's go ahead and put those back in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually need a bunch more cable. I only got 8. So let's go ahead and make a couple more cables. Let's go back up here and do that. Can we make some more? No, we can't. Okay, let's do that, and then can we make a bunch of that cable? How much of that can we make? 12 more? That should be enough. Let's put this back in here and click on that lime again and do, I thought we just made 12. Oops, let's do that again. Maybe it's this one we need to make. Yeah, there we go. So there's 12 more of that. And let's put that back in the system and then click on this one, and that gives us 16 more. That should be enough. So what we want to do is we want to hook these up like this. But we're not going to hook them up to the system, because we're going to kind of trick the system. So right now these don't have any power and they're not connected to anything in the system. What we're going to do is we're going to use a thing called a storage bus. Now basically how a storage bus works, if you, I don't think I showed this in any of the last episodes, but basically a storage bus allows the ME system to see anything that has items in it. Now the cool thing about the drawer controllers from storage drawers is that this controller can see everything that's in here. So on the flip side, the ME system can see everything that this can see. So if I were to take this lapis block storage drawer off and I went over here, it would not be able to see the lapis. So see, I have my iron in here. So if I click on this and we looked at iron, let's type in iron, it is right there. Now if I were to disconnect this line right here, let's just pop that off real quick, and now if I go into the system and I type in iron, it's not there. So that's what a storage bus does. It allows the system to see what's in storage in another compartment. Now this only takes 1 channel, so that's 1 channel here, that's a channel for this thing, and that's a channel for this thing. Now channels don't necessarily mean machines, and that's where some people get confused. They think that a 32 channel cable can only power 32 machines. That's not what it is. The channel looks for other channels, looks for other outlets in which it is using in those outlets, or what this is going to be known as is a subnetwork. That's what it's looking for. So it's basically looking for what other networks or what other outlets is it getting. So it can have 32 of those networks or 32 of those outlets. So what we want to do here is tell the machine, this down here, that we only want to use 1. Excuse me. And the way to do that is by using a storage bus. Also, we want to use what we call an ME interface. Now, if you have worked with Applied Energistics before, an ME interface basically tells the system what you want it to do. So say we put an ME interface on, let's go upstairs real quick, this is a good example. On these molecular assemblers we have ME interfaces. What this ME interface does is we can create patterns and we can tell the machine that it's touching what we want it to do. So say we want to make wood blocks or wood sticks. We would create a pattern that tells it to make sticks. Now this machine this interface interacts with the machine that it's touching. In this case, it's a molecular assembler, and these things actually autocraft for ME systems. The cool thing about this is it can either be a block, which you can surround it, or it can be just a regular pane like this, which you still get the same interface like this. It's just you can't use all sides of it. So the thing about this is, suppose we had all our patterns in here, it'll kick it out to whichever molecular assembler is empty. So this is a more quick and efficient way of using the ME interface on autocrafting. But when you want it just to interact with a machine, you make these little single panes. So let's go downstairs real quick and I'll explain the rest of this. If I can get down there, there we go. So what we want to do is we want to say, hey, system, we have a cable coming up. Okay, so this is going to be where we're going up. In that cable, we want to say there is a item up here that's a storage. Okay, and it's going to say, well, what is that storage? And we're going to say, well, here's the interface. We want you to interact with this system right here, just like that. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow the system to see what's in these drives. Okay, well, right now, all we're doing is we're transferring data. Okay, so no power is getting into this. So we need to hook up a power system. And how do we do that? Well, we use a cable called a quartz fiber cable. Now we're going to do this on the back side of here, and the rest of them is going to be in a different way. So let's go ahead and break this block here and break that block there. Okay, what we want to do is you want to use a quartz fiber cable. I think I put those back in the system. I should have got all this stuff out first. Let's do quartz. There we go, got 20 of them. We're going to tell the system a quartz fiber cable basically is a way of transferring power without transferring data, and it doesn't use any channels. And the way of doing that is using quartz fiber cable. So we're going to put one here, we're going to put one here, and I went ahead and made a bunch of blue cables, so that way we can keep our power on its own color. So it's going to be blue. So as soon as I do this, you're going to see all these light up just like we did before. See? Now watch this. Boom. So that's going to turn all these on. Now the cool thing is it still looks the same way. We still got 6 channels, but if I go around here to the front, it's only seeing 1. Isn't that cool? So what we want to do now is say, hey, there's another network here that we'd like to connect to. How do we do that? Are we going to use more than one channel? No. What we're going to do is we're going to create a subnetwork of this onto this one, and then we're going to create another subnetwork from this one onto this one. And this crafting terminal is going to be able to see everything that's in this and everything downline from it. Now if I hooked it up to the bottom one and we did it in reverse, it wouldn't be able to see what's in these up here. So if I took this crafting terminal and hooked it up to the subnetwork itself, it would only see what's in those drives. It wouldn't see what's down here at the beginning. This is at the beginning, so it's looking at everything downline. So that's how that works. So we're going to create another subnetwork. Now if you look on here, we are using 7 of our channels because you have 6 machines and then an ME interface. That's the 7th channel. So we have one more that we can use. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, we're going to run a cable like such, like that, okay? And then we're going to say we want to see another subnetwork. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put an ME interface on this one, just like this. Boom. And then we're going to connect it to this one, just like this. Boom. So now these are not going to come on, okay? Because why? Because they have no power, okay? So how do you get power? We're going to use our blue network. So we're going to go down here and get our dense fiber cable. We're going to come off of this one right here, like that. And since these are blue cables, they're not going to touch anything else. So we're going to put a quartz fiber cable here, and then we're going to run our blue cable underneath. So see, they don't touch because they're not the same color. Now as soon as these turn on, that whole system is going to turn on. Watch. Boom. And this all goes back to this one, all goes back to this one, but look, we're still only using one channel. Why is that? Because this is a network in itself. And like I said, this thing isn't looking for machines, it's looking for networks or outlets. And when I say outlets, it's looking for Like this whole system, it's looking. That's basically what it's doing. It's looking for systems that are connecting into this cable, and we're basically saying, hey, we're creating a network, but this is just a storage network. It's just one continuous long network, and we can continue going down this network as many times as we want for, you know, eternity, basically. I mean, it's never going to, unless you run out of power, because you have to power all these machines. So now what we're going to do here, if you remember correctly, we're going to use our storage bus, and then we're going to put the interface, and then we're going to connect these together, just like this. Boom. Now, these didn't turn on, so what do we need to do? We need to hook it up with power. So let's go ahead and put the power here. Let's run our blue power cable. Now, all this blue power cable is doing is it's pulling the power that's coming through this dense cable, and that dense cable is being powered through that ME controller. And if you look at the whale up at the top, it's just saying one of 32 channels. So I'm only using one channel. So if we hook this one up, this one's going to power on, boom, and we're still only using one channel. So that's a very efficient way of using your ME system. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to cover up the floor so you don't see any of this. But what I wanted to show you was, let's take this drive here. Actually, you know what? Let's take let's do this. Hold on. Let's do this. Boom. Let's put all our drives here. Okay, and let's look at our ME system. All it's seeing now is the iron, the redstone, the Certus quartz, and the lapis. That's because it's hooked up to this right here. Well, if I were to come over here, and let's say we put this one in just this one, okay? So that's in that top drive. Now we can see some more stuff. Well, what happens if I put one, let's say, in this drive? Let's put one down here. Well, now it's seeing everything that's in that drive. See, we got more stuff. What if I put some stuff down in this drive? In the bottom. Now it's got even more stuff. So basically what it's doing is it's looking through here and saying, well, what's in this network? Well, what's in the network downline from it? Well, what's in the network downline from it? Now, if I were to take this off, let's pop this off real quick. And let's take this and put it on just this one, okay? Now what's it going to look at? It's just going to look at what's connected in here, because it can't see what's upline from the system. This is a sub-network. This is a completely independent network from the main network that's connected to the controller. So it's only looking at what's in the ones that it's touching. But, like I said, if you start at the top and work your way down, it can see everything that's connected on the line down. So let's pop this back off, because I think I just wasted... I had one more channel, so that did work. If I would have had another ME interface on the end of this, that wouldn't have worked, because we would have had 9 channels. So that's just a cool way of making it very efficient in your system, especially in infinity mode, to maximize your ME system and maximize your channel space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and put all these drives in this one on the top, because we don't need to scatter them around a bit. So let's go ahead and grab that one, and let's grab this one out of the bottom, and let's grab this one out of this. Now, one thing that you could do if you wanted to, suppose that you only wanted to have a drive that had all your ores in it. So you could put like a little sign on here that is just ores. And the reason and the way you could do that is you could funnel in everything on just this network and put a crafting terminal pane or just a information pane here on the side. You might have to get rid of one of these drives depending on how many channels, because we only have one more channel that we're allowed to use. So you're probably going to have to get rid of one of these. But you could have all these drives store just your ores. And then you could have all these drives store maybe like your magic stuff, like Thaumcraft and Witchery and stuff like that. So you could separate these independent networks into mod networks, basically, is a way you could do that. So that's just a cool way of doing that. Now, the one thing that we want to do to make this look neater, or cleaner, I shouldn't say neater, there's a thing called a cable. Let's just keep in the applied energistics part. If we go back one page, there's these things called cable anchors, and I went ahead and made a bunch of them. And if we type it in ours, they are right here. And basically you take the blocks that you used and you go like this, Or actually, no, it's the opposite way. It's like this. You only need one block though. And then you take these and surround it like that. Okay, that's what we want to do. So we need to make a couple of these actually. So we need to make 4. Let's go ahead and put this in the system. Let's put these in the system. Let's try and see if 8 is enough. So we want to take these. And what these do, it's just kind of like the Ender IO facades or the thermodynamic ones. Basically, they just cover up the system so you don't see anything. And oh, we didn't want to do that. Hopefully I can get that off without breaking the... There we go. Good. So we want to go like... Dack on it. Okay, let's try that again. Boom. Nope, that's not how we want to do it either. Alright, well, we'll get that one in a minute. So let's go over here and put these down. Like that, and... Dack on it, man. You gotta shift click it? Nope. There's a way to do this, guys. Trust me. Let's just click on the pipe. Like right there? Nope. Well, that's frustrating. I know you can do this. I know you can do this. Oh my god, seriously. Come on. No. Okay, guys, you guys are watching me epically fail. But I'll get these put in. You could just, I'll just probably pop that off and put it back on. So that might be a cooler way just to do that while we're on. Let's pop that off there. Pop that off there. We'll put this down, and then these things can run back up. And they should turn back on. Good, good. And then I don't want to pop that one off. Let's, I think I'll pop that one off. There we go. Let's put that down. So we did make just enough. There, boom. And then what we want to do with those is we just basically want to cover these up like that, okay? So you can't see them at all. Just like that. Cool. So, yeah, guys, that's going to be today's episode. It was kind of a quick episode, but it's just kind of a little tutorial. But, yeah, I wanted to record it in this series. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This has been episode number 19. If you did, leave a like. And also leave some comments or suggestions if you see anything that I could do that might maximize our use of an ME system. And also, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button, guys. I appreciate all the subscriptions that we've gotten. And hopefully we can continue to grow. So, I'll see you next time, guys.